All right, thank you everybody for coming. We're looking forward to a great week at Falls Creek. The theme at Falls Creek this year is greatest, and so they're going to go over the Great Commission. It's Matthew chapter 28, verses 16 through 20. And so what we're going to talk about in cabin time this week, all that stuff, through teaching time, Bible study, spending time in discussions and all that stuff. Our focus this week is that same vein, going and sharing the gospel. And so our theme shirt, this is basically it. Yell it from the mountains. And what we want people to do after leaving camp is have a desire, after looking at the Great Commission for the week, to go tell other people about Jesus, to go tell them about what Jesus Christ has done in their own life. And so, yell it from the mountain will be our theme for this week. And that leads over to a question. You'll look at that camp packet. There's a question on there that says, why camp? And I went to Falls Creek growing up in high school, so I know all the reasons that there are to go to camp, to spend time with friends, to have a fun time away from home, to maybe grow in following Jesus. You bring your friends to spend time with them, or maybe hopefully they hear the gospel and they give their life to Christ. But that last one is actually the reason we do camp. While there are a lot of reasons to go to camp, it's a great time away, it's a great time to spend time together, play games, go to the rec fields, all that. The reason we take kids to camp, our priority, is that it gives them a week of slowing down, away from normal habits, normal hobbies, normal times, all that stuff. And our hope is, and our prayer is, that every student will have heard God's word, the Bible, faithfully preached, and that in that happening, the Holy Spirit would transform hearts as they hear the good news of Jesus. That either non-Christian kids would turn to Jesus for salvation, or those who have already turned to Jesus for salvation, that they would continue to grow in trusting Jesus. And so we hope that both non-believers and believers would hear the good news of Jesus and be transformed over and over. And that's the reason we take kids to camp. That's our prayer for the week, that when the gospel, the good news of Jesus is preached, that people would be changed, both Christians and non-Christians. I'm going to run through these logistics and policies and all that stuff, and then I'll be here after the meeting, so that if you have any questions, you can come up and ask me personally, and we can get anything sorted out or give you any info that you feel like wasn't clear in here, okay? So let's just run through that packet real quick, and then we will, I want to be respectful with your time, and then we'll be done. So Monday logistics, we're leaving out on Monday morning. The bus is leaving at 10 o'clock, but the bus is going to take a long time to get loaded and all that stuff. And so we're asking that everybody shows up at 9:30. Please show up at or before 9:30 so that we can get all luggage loaded on the buses, because both of the buses are going to be full. There's a lot of luggage to load. And so what you're going to do is you're going to arrive at 9:30 or before. We have a second building to the south of here. You're going to park there, put your luggage by the buses, and then you'll go into that second building and you'll check in. We'll have some ladies at a table, and they'll check you down, say that you're here, and you'll go wait in the FLC gym in that building over there. And so get there 9:30, drop off luggage by the bus, go inside, check in. During that check-in process, you'll turn in any medication that you feel like needs to be turned in. And so we're taking 7th graders through seniors, and so we're leaving this up to your discretion, because I know some older kids can be responsible with their medication, but if you feel like they can't, you let us know that. We'll have a place to store for both boys and girls of medication, and we'll be responsible for getting that to them. They'll be responsible for coming and telling us it's time to take their medication, and we'll distribute that out as they need, okay? So you'll turn in any medication that you think is necessary, and then if you turn to the very back of that packet, there is a parent-guardian agreement. I'll let you read that, sign that yourself, all that stuff. But basically, in summary, this is the agreement saying that You are trusting discipline up to the discretion of the camp leaders and sponsors that we are bringing. You're signing off on if something happens with a behavioral issue or a discipline issue and we need you to come get your student. It is you signing off saying, I will come get my student if it is required. Just stuff like that, okay? So you can read through that again. That's just an overarching summary. For your student to go to camp with us, this has to be signed and turned into us. And so you all are here tonight, so hopefully you can sign that and turn that into me. But if you don't get it signed, you will bring it to the FLC when you check in, signed. We'll have a way for you to sign it online too and get it to us, okay? Overall, that needs to be signed before we can go to camp. We won't take a kid to camp without that signed. Dress code, many of you have heard it. It's basically just be responsible. Remember, we're going to a church camp, so don't wear clothes that say anything inappropriate on them. Don't wear too short of shorts. They need to be fingertip in length. Boys need to wear, if you're going to wear muscle shirts, they need to be shirts that come all the way to the shoulder, end of the shoulder. They hem at the shoulder. Can't be cutoffs, can't be torn open. It's got to be a regular sleeveless shirt that hems out at the shoulder. No tank tops, no shirts displaying or promoting unsavory or inappropriate things. And then know that we will implement the dress code. Like this is Falls Creek's rule, and so we will implement Falls Creek's rule. We'll implement their code of conduct, which you all signed when you registered and all that. And so if somebody comes downstairs and they're not dressed appropriately within dress code, we will have a sponsor send them back up to change, okay? Rec time, there will be water activities available. Girls, the policy at Falls Creek is that you wear one pieces if you go swimming or two pieces with a very dark shirt. That's the policy. Boys, as you travel to go swim, you can't walk there shirtless. You have to wear a top, okay? Students will be free and encouraged to participate in all the activities. They're going to roam around camp. We're going to let them loose from, I think it's 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock, something like that. So we are going to let them loose and go have fun. The policy is, and make sure that your students are clear on this. If you're watching the video after this, make sure they're clear on this. The policy is it has to be 3 or more traveling in a group at one time. No one is allowed to be walking just 2 people together at one time. 3 or more groups of 3 plus. For the phone policy, in the past we've done it at the end of free time. This year we are going to, there's a free time after evening tabernacle. So from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock p.m., we're going to give kids those phones. They're going to be out on, going on icy dates and all that stuff, but we're going to give them their phones. They'll come back to the cabin and get them, and that's when they'll be able to check in with you. If you need to reach your student at any other time, you can, if you look at the top right-hand corner, you'll see my name, McKylan's name, Seth's name, and our contact information. You can reach out to us anytime to get in contact with your kid outside of those times. But we will have 1 hour a day where they'll be able to check in with you, all that. Discipline, it's ultimately up to the discretion of the sponsors at camp. Any misuse of a phone will warrant confiscation for the entirety of camp. We're also not allowing phones upstairs at all. If a student is found with phones upstairs, their phone will be confiscated for the rest of the week, no questions asked. And so they won't be able to contact you, all that stuff. And so no phones upstairs. And if something is done inappropriately with a phone, it will be confiscated as well. Bad behavior is going to get a single warning to the whole group. We're going to let the whole group understand the standards for how they ought to treat one another. And then after that, if the behavior continues to persist and they're not listening to sponsors, they're not listening to camp leadership, they will have to go home. And that's what we're having you sign there on the back there, so that you are clearly saying you understand that and you agree with that. We don't want to send anyone home, but if a student is acting outside of the behavior policies, they will have to go home if they're not respecting others and respecting the code of conduct. There is also a zero tolerance for possession, substance. Things like that is going to mean immediate removal from camp. And before we get on the bus, there will be a final warning issued out for that. If you got something with you that you know you shouldn't have, substances like that, leave them here. It'll be an immediate removal from campus to protect others around them as well, to protect them from addictive things. And then parents visiting and picking up. If you're going to pick up your student early from camp, I ask that you would come tell me that. If you forget to, during check-in, we'll have a way for you tell other people that as well. We'll have a way for you to tell McKylan and Audrey as they check you in that you're picking somebody up from camp. But we would like to know that so that we're prepared to bring them to the front gate. So Falls Creek has a policy that nobody can come in through the front gate to the parking section into camp. They're high security there. If you want to come in, they'll ask for your ID. They'll make you pay a gate fee for coming in, which I think is $7, $8. And then you're paying that for no reason. So when you're picking up students, we ask that you would park on the outside of the gate, and we will just bring your student in a van to you. So you don't got to pay that gate fee. You don't got to go through all that stuff. But tell me at the end of this meeting if you're picking up your kid early so that we know that, so that we're prepared for that. And if you plan to come visit, which we would love for you to come visit and see what's going on at Falls Creek, just, again, plan to pay that gate fee. It is under $10. And so, we would love for you to come visit. Just be prepared to pay that. That's everything. McKylan, am I missing anything on the front? Okay. And again, you can ask me questions if I didn't cover something for you at the end. So I'm open to answer any questions that you have. Packing list, standard packing list, normal clothes, socks, underwear, all that stuff. Please pack socks and underwear. Outdoor clothes for rec. Again, girls, no crop tops. Boys, no torn or cut muscle shirts. Again, it has to come to the shoulder. Covered swimsuit stuff, sneakers and sandals, and then shower shoes, and you know why. It can be gross in the boys' dorm, and so make sure to have shower shoes. Formal night, you can see that there. On Wednesday night, we're having a formal night where boys will dress up collared shirts, khakis, slacks. If you don't have khakis or slacks, do not feel like you need to bring khakis or slacks. It'll be okay. It's not that serious of a deal. But that's how we're dressing up on formal night. Girls will wear dresses. Same thing with like shorts, fingertip length. Be responsible with those choices. Toiletries, standard. Let me see if, again, medicine, turn in to the leaders in the FLC on Monday if you deem that's necessary. It says a couple towels here. Just keep in mind that we're going to be there for 5 days, and so you may want more towels. You may, for sure, you need at least 2, because if they go swimming, 1 towel could get all gross, covered in dirt. We're out at a pond is where we swim, so it's not a swimming pool. It's not clean. People are going to walk all over a towel. So for sure, have at least 2, but you may consider bringing more. Other things to bring, we're going to church camp. The guy who's speaking, Owen Neese, he's going to teach people from the Bible. So it's important that you have a Bible. But while I'm talking about Bibles, you'll see in parentheses there, Falls Creek has made a new policy this year. Going into Tabernacle, there is a clear bag policy. And so that's going to definitely affect all of you who bring Bible bags or wear those, I don't even know what they're called, the crossbody bags, or anybody wearing fanny packs, It's got to be clear bags. And so my advice would just be, don't bring your Bible bags. Don't bring crossbody bags to Tabernacle. Don't bring backpacks, any of that. They just have a clear bag policy. And so a Bible, a pen, a journal, we'll be taking notes. We'll be studying the Bible together in Tabernacle. And so if you want to take notes, you want to remember what you've been taught, bring a journal to write those things down. A pillow, sleeping bag, all that stuff. Recreation towel. Okay, got it covered there. Never mind, sorry. A couple towels for showering, and then a recreation towel for swimming. Water bottle, you'll see that bolded. So in the past, we have brought water bottles for all the campers. But once distributed to everybody, whether it might be boys just busting somebody else's water bottle to bully them or whatever, those water bottles get wasted, they get lost. And I think some of that is because those water bottles they didn't buy anything. They didn't buy them, they didn't pay for them or anything like that. And so we're asking that you would bring your own water bottle to camp. We will have water bottles for those who do not have a water bottle, or they forget it. But please pack a water bottle. We won't have enough water bottles for everybody, and it's going to be high 90s all week long. I think one day it's going to be 100. So please pack a water bottle and drink water while you're there. And then some money. There's going to be coffee. There's going to be souvenirs. There's going to be shirts to buy. There's all this stuff that you can go do. And so bring extra spending cash for that. As far as travel, we're getting on the bus, and our next stop is Falls Creek, and we're going to have a lunch once we get there. So you don't need spending money for meals along the way. You just need spending money for at Falls Creek. And then on the top right-hand corner, you can see our devotionals. We'll go through Genesis 22, Exodus 19 through 20, and then the crucifixion of Jesus and the resurrection of Jesus. Matthew 28 is the Great Commission. That is our theme verse for the week. And the last thing I want to cover with you is schedule. Okay, I've addressed we're leaving FBC on Monday morning. Get here at 9:30, luggage to the bus, go inside to check in, and we'll take care of your kids from there. Once we get there, we'll have lunch, and then I've got to go to check in as soon as we get there, and as soon as kids get wristbands, then we'll let them go out to free time in groups of 3 or more. They're going to have a great time, and then evening tabernacle, and then so they'll basically get into a rhythm after that. You can look over that schedule. The main thing I want to cover with you is on Friday night, we are coming home after evening tabernacle. And so we're leaving camp at 9:30. That means we're going to get home at midnight. And so we're asking that you would have some plan for picking up your kid at midnight when we get back over here to the FLC where you drop your kids off. Our reasoning behind that is, one, it means everybody actually gets to go to bed at midnight 30, and they're not staying up late. It means we get to clean and have it all done, and then we get to wake up in our bed on Saturday morning, and it just so happens that this year that's 4th of July. So we want to be able to have kids enjoy that time with their families, and we want kids to get home as soon as possible. Friday night is when the boys like to stay up till 3 o'clock, and they're exhausted, and it's terrible. So we want to get kids home, so have a plan to pick them up at midnight. Buses will leave camp at 9:30. That's all I have for you. Again, come ask me questions afterward. Makan, am I forgetting anything? Formal night is not date night, especially this year because we didn't have enough upperclassmen boys to like pair with upperclassmen girls, and that'd be freshman boys were intimidated by having to do formal night with a senior girl, and so it is not date night. It is formal night. What we'll just have the boys do well-mannered things. They will seat the girls. They will go get their food. Girls will eat with themselves and chat it up, and the boys will then go sit down, get their food, all that stuff, okay? Formal night is not date night. Don't hype yourself up. Don't get nervous. Don't feel anything about it. It is just a night to dress up and spend time together, okay? Anything else? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have already made small groups and all that stuff, and based on your small group, we'll have assigned bunks, so people sleep in a certain vicinity. It's our way as sponsors being able to manage behavior and all that stuff. We have sponsors sprinkled throughout the room so that can handle well. Seth said it right today. It's not necessarily that kids are sleeping next to each other and they're having a good time. It's a whole complex of friends that get together and they're being loud in one area. So sprinkling the sponsors around is helpful with that. We'll still have a great time. We just want them to have fun and be rowdy during the day and then go to sleep when it's lights out, which we're letting them stay up till midnight anyway. So, yes. They will be in, you can write this down in your packet, FBC Perry's cabin, First Baptist Church of Perry. It is cabin 616. So if you come to visit them at the front gate, you will tell them cabin 616 is where you're going, and they will point you in the right direction and get you to us. Okay. Colin, you don't have anything else? I don't have anything else. That is all for you guys. Please, before you leave, Makylin will be stationed by the door, and she'll take those parent-guardian agreements